Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me okay? Okay. Hello, my name is Henry Lala, and this year I have the pleasure of serving as your internal vice president. I want to begin by thanking you all for being here. I will keep these opening remarks brief, as the goal of this gathering is pretty simple. The association needs a space for its constituent entities to get together and hear about one another's work, ideas, experiences, and objectives for the year. The quarterly Senate reports had long failed to live up to the standard. Communication was being lost in the process, with the time being put in by VCU representatives in waiting and written reports now leading to either much attention or fruition. This is why we have put this together. The collaboration needed to serve the student body needed a platform like this to bring us in one united place that will serve as a durable means of communication. So here's how this will run. The order of entities reports is at your tables. Each report is to last 3 minutes maximum. If it's short of that, don't feel the need to go over. Brief is good, considering that we have to accommodate all entities. We ask that the representatives from the two entities following the one speaking consistently line up here to the right of the podium to make the transition from one to the other easy and fast. Speakers, please introduce yourself and your entity before providing a report. And audience, I know we're all very excited to hear about everyone's work, but let's reserve our claps just for the sake of time. And because inevitably those speaking earlier will receive much more applause than those speaking later. The snap method, of course, is our friend throughout. And lastly, out of respect for those who are presenting towards the end, we ask that you do not back up and leave early, as is mandated in legal code and as we've explained throughout the process. And if you're transitioning representatives, as we laid out here, please do so quietly. Unfortunately, we will not have time for Q&A directly, but you are highly encouraged to approach representatives from an entity that has provided a report and ask questions, share ideas, or propose collaboration. Okay, we're excited to hear from all of you. Let's kick off the inaugural ASUCSB Quarterly State of the Association. Thank you. Are we familiar with the order?
Yeah, the next one. Oh, this, okay.
Hi, my name is Alicia Siebers, and I'm Bella Rosemarie, and we are the co-chairs of the Environmental Justice Alliance. Our budget this year was $14,000, and so far this quarter we've spent about $750 on projects and events. And then this quarter we anticipate a little over $3,000 will be designated for honoraria for our staff. As co-chairs, we're responsible for organizing and executing our board meetings, which happen every week. And we also do 2 general meetings every quarter. We also, as co-chairs, are responsible for managing those chair projects, making sure details and dates and everything are arranged. And we are appointed to serve on the Chancellor's Sustainability Committee, which meets once a month. We also frequently partner with other organizations, both within AS and around campus, and those have been to arrange events and other projects. Okay, and then we've had various types of events this quarter, revolving around our theme of sustainable agriculture and food justice. And so we have the reoccurring events and activities like our biweekly book club, focusing on environmental justice, books, and media. And then we have a biweekly newsletter as well. And then we've had individual events such as our Principles of Environmental Justice collage workshop, a sunset walk, and talk about justice. And then we had a gardening collab with ECP. And we've had 2 general body meetings, one which was an intro event trying to get attention, just let people know like what we're doing and things they can expect from us this quarter. And then we had a second one on Monday, actually, that was focused on our theme for the quarter, sustainable food systems and food justice. And then we had some vegan and vegetarian food tasting there as well. And we want that to be a continuous project so people can get familiar with different types of vegetarian options. And then we have, like Alicia said, we're part of the Chancellor's Sustainability Committee, and we're also like in the subdivision committee on the Climate Action Plan. And then we tabled at the Eco Expo this quarter, and we have upcoming sustainable card making and tea bag making. One of them is a collab with the Women's Center, and then we have our last book club on Friday. And our average event size is about 20 people.
Hey everyone, my name is Hannah. I'm the Solicitor General of the Office of the Attorney General. I'm essentially the Chief of Staff and the UCSB AS Public Defender. We have a total budget of $100, of which we have spent none of it. Our honoraria for the year is $8,100, so $2,700 for the quarter. What essentially we do is just investigating legal code violations and enforcing legal code. Right now, on the side, we're working on updating our website and surveying student opinions on having cameras on campus. But we do a variety of other work just due to the nature of our office. I can't necessarily share any of that with you all. So that's it. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ariana. I'm the editor-in-chief of The Bottom Line, and we're a student newspaper on campus. We publish investigative reporting, opinion essays, comics, photo essays, just creative work across multiple genres. And I, as editor-in-chief, also just act as like a liaison between editorial and AS affairs. One affair being our total budget. We're still in conversation with the financial operations team to figure it out for this year as we wait for our rollovers to be processed and stuff like that. But so far we've spent $7,000 just about for printing and staff salaries and also compensating our contributors. So we have over 20 editors, writers, artists, and photographers at the moment. And we had a couple of initiatives this year, such as bringing back our print editions. So this is our most recent one, came out last Thursday, and we do 2 per quarter. It was very rating on Thursday, but this is one of our boxes on campus. You might see them around. And yeah, these are some of the stories we've also been publishing most recently. So it's a mix of, you know, some science, some breaking news, some big stories from the county in general, and collaborating with local artists. We also just like tabled a couple times this year, and just like presented at some places, and we're just able to spread our goals to more people. And yeah, we produce about 20 articles per month and have about 15 to 20 regular contributors. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rahul. I'm this year's internal chair for IBCRC. I've just listed our mission for those that are unfamiliar. And my specific role within that is to run weekly meetings, deliberate with my vice chair. No, you're good. Thanks. Deliberate with my vice chair and internal chair about honoraria for our committee, and work with my treasurer as well to about the funding requests that we get. So this quarter, we spent about $17,000 with an additional $4,350 in honoraria. It's about 10% of our funding, which is $210,000 for this year. This is a small part of our funding because our biggest event is the Pardal Carnival, which is in the spring. So we're being conservative at this point with funding requests. Some of the events that we helped put on were the CERT program, which allows for free training and certifications for emergency disaster situations. We also helped with UCSB Team, which supports an inclusive space for the neurodivergent community here in Isla Vista. We supported the Pardal Center and the EVPLA office in the Great Shakeout, which is fire extinguisher and public safety training. And we also worked on the Thanksgiving houseless dinner with Gaucho Catholic that provides 100+ Thanksgiving meals to key residential areas in Isla Vista. And we also worked with IVRPD for the Halloween pumpkin patch. Some other updates about about IBCRC are that we have a fully filled board for the first time in a few years. We finalized an advisor for IBCRC, which is Nando, for all of those who know him. And we're set to transfer to Flux completely so that we're able to expedite our funding process. And we've seen decreases of up to 9 weeks within which people are able to get reimbursed for the events that they run. And we've also worked on increasing Instagram engagement because we found that that's been one of our biggest sources of public engagement. So Yeah, thanks so much.
Hey everyone, I'm Nora,
And I'm Will.
and we're the co-chairs of the AS Investment Advisory Committee. So this year our budget is roughly $19,000. 7,500 of that this year is going towards training software for the first time. And the IAC basically manages a student-led investment fund on behalf of AS, and the fund invests in public equity and debt securities across 9 industry coverage groups. So analysts in this club, there's about 70 members, gain exposure to investing, financial modeling, creating pitch decks to present to the committee, and public speaking experience. We have a total of 9 pitches each quarter on Wednesdays.
And we have a chart of returns up here. This is since the start of 2019, which is the most recent quarter when we received funding. So this is just flat line of total amount we have invested. And then you can see our returns, we've about doubled the fund since then. And then in terms of more recent returns, our 1-year return is about 10%, which our portfolio is a breakdown of large cap stocks, small cap stocks, and also bonds. So if you benchmark that, looking at large caps, the S&P 500 is up about 12.5%. Russell 2000 small caps is up 0.5%, and US corporate bonds are doing around 5 to 6% right now. So we're pleased with the results over the last year. And I guess last to touch on events, Nora mentioned we do 9 pitches a quarter. And those average about an attendance of 50, which is mostly the analysts within our committee. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Trisha D'Souza, and I'm the controller for the Office of the Controller. The name is not very descriptive, but what the controller's office right now is doing is basically doing a lot of like consulting projects for different AS business entities. And right now we're like seeking proposals for the AS ticket office to help finalize a new ticketing partner, because the current ticketing partner charges a high lock-in fee. And we're trying to like find a lower budget ticketing partner, and we're attending demos for them and narrowing down our options. We also just recently finished a project with the AS Publications, and we finalized the purchase of a new paper cutting machine. Theirs was broken, and we were like shortlisting a bunch of different machines with different features and recommended our findings to them. Our current budget is for the year is $12,350, and we estimate to spend around $1,000 of that for the AS Ticket Office polos. So the AS Ticket Office wants new uniforms for their employees, and we're helping them find quotes for that. And $3,600 of our budget is going to honor area. And that's it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Finnick, and this is Sam. We're the co-chairs of the Trans and Queer Commission. And as co-chairs, we're in charge of facilitating our weekly meetings where we create projects and events aimed to support, advocate for, and uplift the LGBTQ plus community on campus. So we've spent about $36,000 of our $115,000 budget so far this quarter, including special projects and travel. So some of our projects, events, initiatives we've had this quarter, we've been tabling at events like AS Kickoff Fair. We have a scholarship aimed for undocumented queer and trans students. With 11 applicants so far, we hold Trans and Queer Leadership Council meetings. And then we have a few identity-aimed events throughout the quarter. We hold a town hall and stuff like that. Sorry.
You're okay.
And then we had a bucket list making social, a QT BIPOC sketch and swap where 11 people attended. We had a trivia night at Woodstocks where 25 people attended. And then we have a trans care fair, which is happening this Friday, if anyone's available. Then we also had a gender product library showcase. We're planning a winter comedy event for next quarter, and then also Winter Wonder Drag, which we do annually. And the next two things are we're doing a Creating Change conference in Washington, D.C., which is where the travel portion of our budget is going towards, where we did 12 participants from 4 different orgs, which is really exciting. And we're also funding our COs through our MOU with Finance Committee at the moment. Thank you.
Hello. So my name is Colin Yu, and I am one of the co-chairs for Community Affairs Board, CAB. Jessie and I, she's my other co-chair, she's not here. But basically our job is to oversee funding requests, assisting with event planning, and just like setting the agenda for our weekly leaderboard meetings every Monday. So for this quarter, we've passed almost $40,000 worth for funding for both our external and internal events. These events include things like Freedom for Youth Holiday Drive, UCSB American Red Cross's CPR training event, volunteering with Bucket Brigade, dispersing childcare grants for student parents, our alternative winter break trip, and so much more. Across all these opportunities, we've wrapped up well over 100 hours of volunteering, as well as we've gathered hundreds of student volunteers. And in addition, we almost have 1,000 subscribers for our weekly newsletter, CAB Care Mail. We've tabled almost every week at the Arbor, and for attendance at our general meetings bi-weekly, they've gone up from last year, so that's pretty good. For the future, we're trying to like spread the word about our ability to like fund orgs because we haven't received that many external funding requests. And we're also trying to potentially bring in guest speakers for our general meetings. So yeah, thank you for your time.
Hi, everyone. My name is Naina, and I'm the Chief Operations Officer for the Strategic Operations Office. And essentially what we do is we just kind of assess the effectiveness of AS and its entities. And then we work on projects that help strengthen UCSB and IV, really making sure that we kind of align with the strategic vision plan. Some of the projects that we're currently working on are kind of our ongoing help with iPads for equity, working with basic needs to make sure that the iPads that we've already given out, to kind of like replenish broken parts, missing parts, and then making sure that we can distribute clean iPads. And then another one of our projects that we're working on is the strategic vision plan. We're working with an external consulting firm called Credo to kind of help finish that up. Right now, we're kind of in the dashboard making process, so really just kind of getting that last remaining data to make that vision board and the dashboard a little bit more interactive. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yo-Yo, and I am the AS Chief Marketing Officer, and I chair the Creative Media Unit. And today I'm representing also the AS Media Center and our UCSB TV subcommittee. So this quarter, at the beginning of the quarter, Chelsea, our art director, and our graphic artist, Jacob, helped put together the AS welcome backs. We've also been working on a spotlight campaign, which will hopefully come out later this week. And this is to introduce students who are unaware of AS to what AS does and how we operate. Our Chief Technology Officer, Juliana, worked on the Adobe rollout program where she promoted this Adobe suite discount that UCSB students have. And she's also working with the Office of the EVPLA and web developers on the Rate My Landlord website. We've coordinated Storky appearances during AS Kickoff Fair and AS1, and we will continue to do that in the following quarters. We did a Halloween sticker drop where our graphic artists designed stickers and we distributed them online and in person. And the Media Center hosts weekly workshops. This quarter, the workshops had attendance about like 5 to 10 students, and we're thinking of ways to improve the attendance rate. Our media center specialist, Wenya, hosted Creative Connections with the UCSB Photography Club, and that had about 20 students in attendance. Our graphic artist, Kaylee, also worked on the International Education Week campaign, which is currently happening now. And then we updated our legal code to reflect the current structure of our committee. We also reintegrated UCSB TV into AS. They were previously unaware that they were part of AS. We also hired new student staff, and hopefully by winter quarter, we'll have a complete board and we will be able to deliver more services to the community. And then we're also discussing acquiring new equipment designated to our AS student videographer. Shout out Miley, who's been acting as our photographer too, because we had trouble onboarding our photographer. And yeah, so CMU delivers a lot of resources to AS orgs, but we would also remind people to please respect our student staff times. And in the future, we will be putting out more detailed regulations on how to best use our resources. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel Forshee. I am the vice chair of the Isla Vista Tenants Union. So budget-wise, our total budget for the year is approximately 160K. And this does not include our rollover fund that we share with the finance committee. With that being said, this 160K, the majority of it is going to Pardal, the rent for the Pardal Center, the salary for the employees, and then honoraria for us. We spent approximately 20K this quarter besides everything that went towards Pardal. Some of those projects included, we're working on drafting our AS rent support program that we founded into the legal code. We need to finalize a couple things on that end, but that'll allow us to get that back up and running. We funded a bench to commemorate the victims of Del Pias Bluffs in partnership with IVCSD. We finally updated and published our new leasing materials. So this included our freshman just housing guide for just freshmen. And then we also made a housing list that literally lists every single rental company, NIV, and just details about them. We're also doing a homelessness drive, sleeping bags, hygiene kits, other things like that. We tabled a bunch this quarter, hit all the housing fairs, and we also tabled outside the dining hall for multiple weeks. It all went really well. It was good attendance. We're also funding, or we have funded IV Food Co-op gift cards, essentially because of the SNAP EBT funds getting suspended this past November, I guess this November. That's been going really well. People have to prove that they were on EBT to get a gift card, but I think it's been a really good supplement for people who need that. And then, yeah, so education-wise, we've been giving presentations just kind of across campus. We've hit multiple sororities and fraternities, and we've also hit some dorms, specifically like RAs. We partnered with RAs to give presentations to floors of freshmen. And the last thing we did, and this is something I was pretty involved with, it's kind of a 9-month project. We tested the water quality in IV to essentially see if the water that tenants are using is within the legal limits, and we published that. And that was in partnership with a club on campus called Engineers Without Borders. I think that covers everything. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I think Coastal Fund was supposed to go, but I'm not in Coastal Fund, but if you want to go. Yeah.
Coastal Fund had a very important event that they all had to be at today, but they sent a video.
I want to develop up to your quarter. So throughout the year, we have about $670,000 in budget. And we split up quarterly because each quarter we are reviewing applications. We have fall, winter, and spring application cycle for our grants. We can also do emergency grants if need, but we tend to use about $205,000 each quarter for funding allocations, so giving us out to different grants proposals, and then the extra $20,000 goes to paying our student salaries, giving honoraries to our board members, and any other things that we may incur. So the majority is going to those grant applications. This fall, we got 22 major grant applications. Those are grants that are grant pools that are listed in their dollars. We have 14 minor grant applications, which are applications that won't list for $1,000. And each coastal fund meeting that we have once a week, we are meeting with these applicants, so we give them a 30-minute slot of our meetings to come in and present on the project and answer any questions the board may have. So we can make a planning decision, and we're considering how well these proposals align with the coastal fund vision statement, and so I'm thinking about if they involve existing students in the project, and also we want to make sure that the project celebrates, protects, and enhances the local coastal ecosystem. And yeah, I was thinking about 2 different orders projects. And the project that I'm going to do is supporting teams for the scientific training course here. So we, based on financial need, we review student applications and determine the cost of equipment of the dive course twice a year. We also tend to co-sponsor events that are hosted by other orgs and on missions, such as the concert for the coast that Surfrider does. And we also throughout the afternoon our end of year celebration, which is where we invite all of our partners, like people in the boards that are kind of their values, or anyone who wants to have, or people that we funded, or just anyone who wants to come and celebrate what's been going on with the grants throughout the year. So people who have been funded, we have this nice lunch or dinner where they can come and summarize and showcase the projects that we've been able to submit. And yeah, that's what we've got to, and we do kind of same thing every quarter, just meet with applications the first chunk of the quarter, and then we review the applicants, and then make our funding decisions, 8 and 9 of the quarter. So in that stage now, we've got all the applicants, and we're just figuring out what is getting cut over to funding or fully funding by.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ani. I'm from Community Financial Fund, where our main goal is to basically like spread financial literacy across the campus to undergraduates. Our big program is the $200 grant program or grant workshop, where any undergraduate can apply. And as long as they attend a online workshop and then they take a quick quiz and then they write a 1-page essay based on the prompt given, they get $200. So it's pretty cool. Our total budget is $365K, about 285 is a lock-in, and then there's 80K in rollover. And then our estimated amount spent this quarter was $65K, 55 on grants, and then around 10,000 on different events. We had 292 applications and 267 grants given. And then I want to have around 400 to 500 applicants next quarter. So I'll be emailing you guys for some marketing. And then we hosted another like slew of events. We had a collab with GGC on navigating the American banking system. Then we had a How to Buy a Home in Your 20s, which is like a quarterly series that we're running this year with 65 attendees. And then we had a basic needs workshop about finding housing in IV, and then figuring out finances for freshmen, and then also a navigating credit cards. And then I realized I updated the slides, but these are not the updated slides. We also gave 4,000 to basic needs for the grocery vouchers for the SNAP hold. So yeah, thanks.
Okay. Hi, my name is Rita.
My name's Anthony.
and we're the co-chairs of Bike Committee. So our main priority right now is funding, well, we do all the planning and maintenance of bicycle infrastructure on campus. And our main priority is to fund the ILP bike path, which is as we all know, into the ILP library. And so in terms of some events, we have the biking orientation event. We had over 60 people in attendance. The bike light giveaway, we did just like a few weeks ago, over 200 lights given away. The bike path, we're waiting for the cost estimate still and exploring options for funding it. And we also provided feedback on the bike path plans bike plans for San Benito and East Campus housing projects.
Yeah, so our total budget, which comes from a lock-in fee for the quarter, is around 70K. Most of that we just save up for large infrastructure projects like the ILP bike path and like the North Hall renovation that we did over the summer, like by the bus loop. So most of that is saved, but we spent 4,000 on the bike lights, and there are about 400 bike lights in total. And then we have 2.4 thousand set aside for honoraria. And that's all.
Hi, my name is Hannah and this is Becca, and we are the co-chairs of the Environmental Affairs Board. Our mission is basically to promote sustainability on UCSB and in all of the surrounding communities.
We hold a couple of appointments, including the Chancellor's Sustainability Committee, and we have a member on the Green Initiative Fund, TGIF. Our budget for the year is around $42,000 from a lock-in fee. We spent around $9,600, including our honoraria. And most of our expenses are at the end of the year. We have big events. And what we've been doing lately, or what we do all the time, is weekly core meetings, as well as general meetings, and we host an event about every week surrounding the environment.
Yeah, so this quarter specifically, we've been continuing to work on our Stop Sable campaign. There was a big hearing at the beginning of November. We've had a few social events, trips to the farmers market, using the bus system, painting events, sunset walks. We also do volunteer event collaborations with CBER, Edible Campus Program, Environmental Defense Center, and IVRPD. Music like restoration projects, block cleanups, creek cleanups, that type of thing. We're also in charge of the E-Coalition, which is a quarterly event that tries to get all the environmental orgs on campus in one spot. And at our weekly meetings, we have a lot of different activities, but a few highlights this quarter were local film screenings, guest speakers, and a clothing swap and upcycling event. And then our participation can be pretty all over the place because we have a lot of different types of events, but we would say our weekly general meetings are normally around 40 to 50 people, and events kind of range 25 to 30. Thank you.
Is there a representative from SCORE? How about elections board? Awesome, yeah, book day.
Hi, my name is Vinny. I'm the external chair for the book bank. And basically, I just represent the book bank, which is an organization that aims to reduce the financial burden on students by providing free textbook rentals. And our total budget is $20,000, and we haven't spent any of it. But our biggest project that we're working on is the textbook subscription project. So this is basically to provide free or like subsidized access to textbook subscriptions like ALEX or Wiley or McGraw-Hill. And right now we're gauging interest for this program to try and get funding and whatnot. But if you want to help us out, you can scan the QR code and do the interest form. But besides that, we've done a couple of tablings and we're hoping to do some book drives and study jams next quarter. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Kayla. And I'm Cami. I'm the internal chair for Take Back the Night. We're an associate students org dedicated to educating our community on topics surrounding sexual assault and providing support to survivors. We hold weekly board meetings. We're consistent with tabling and we've had various events throughout the year, and April is our busiest month. So our total budget is $102,366. And this year we've spent around 5,000 excluding honoraria. We're saving a lot of our budget for which is sexual assault awareness.
Other projects and events and initiatives we've done is the Lagoon Lighting Project. We've been working a lot with IVP and Senate on that. So thank you to everyone who's been working on that project. Boundaries and bingos. We just hosted that last week with donuts and sex toy prizes. We had around 40 attendees. It was a really great success. We've also been working for domestic violence shelter hygiene kits with CAB. We've been spearheading a Greek life safe sex and consent goodie bags. We're gonna do a trauma-informed yoga event, which we're super excited about. And then we're doing self-defense classes in collaboration with CAUSEWeb, which we're super excited about. I don't know where you guys are, but that's brand new. Ongoing collaboration with the CARE office. And then we're a Raise the Bar collaboration with ASOP and SESA. Another thing that we've been working on is we just funded Girl Up and Girl Hustle through our MOU. Yeah, so that's us. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lily.
And I'm Vidya.
And we're from the AS Commission on Student Wellbeing, CAUSEWeb. We oversee a board of 15 other officers targeting well-being, anything from financial, physical well-being, nutritional well-being, social well-being, mental well-being, just kind of all encapsulating student well-being. And our events have ranged from the petting zoo, which you guys may have visited, to free fitness classes like Pilates and cycling. We have quarterly mental health first aid training, which is available to students for free. And then we also held several study jams and tabling in the Arbor for Pinktober and for midterm refuel. And then our big event at the end of the quarter, which is Finals Essentials booth. And we're planning a winter wellness event, which is kind of a band show, petting zoo, photo booth, big event in the park in winter quarter.
Our total budget for the year is around 48K. This would be around 30K after honoraria. So we're allocating around 10K for each quarter. And so far we've spent around 8K. Saving up for some of our bigger events in winter and spring. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Hannah. I'm representing the Pardall Center. I'm the chair of the Pardall Center Governance Board. Pardall Center, it's a student-run resource center in Isla Vista, right by Hummus Republic and Ivy Deli. We host multiple events for different orgs on campus and off campus. So far this quarter, we've had 53 event requests and approvals, including meetings and events, and they're all free. We've had 786 print requests, so you can come in and get 50 color printing and 250 black and white printing completely free of cost. We've spent over $5,000 on snacks this quarter. Our total budget this year is $233,640. We spent around 48% of that. That's forecasted this quarter due to furniture that we got last year, but due to some complications of the requisition, it's gonna be spent in our budget this year. But other than the furniture with operating expenses, we've spent around 30% of that, so that's around $72,000. Some projects and initiatives we're working on in the future is the Ivy mural. We're working on the basic needs vending machine with the advocacy committee and the office of the president. We had a very successful event, which was fire extinguisher training and earthquake safety. It was a great shakeout. We're trying to get mini Scantrons at the center soon. Working on more storage space, trying to allocate an extra storage space outside of the Pardall Center in the back. We really worked on legal code this summer and then got it passed this quarter, thanks to Senate. And we had some finals week and midterm study gyms. So stay tuned to our events and thank you very much.
Perfect. Good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for being here tonight. My name is Leo Balakso. I'm a co-chair for Transfer Student Alliance.
And my name is Sadie. I'm another co-chair for Transfer Student Alliance. We're an ASBCU that works to amplify transfer student voices on and off campus. We also organize events specifically for transfer students, and then we just try to create more of a community on campus. Our total budget is 15,000, not including rollover, and so far we've spent about 1,500 plus honoraria.
Yeah, so just a little bit of what we've been up to. So we always work with the Transfer Student Center. One of the recent things that we did with them was funding the transfer student merch and just like giving out merchandise for transfer students. Another thing that we did recently was the speed funding event in collaboration with the Department of Asian American Studies and again with the Transfer Student Center. We also earlier today, we did the Slice into Student Life with the Transfer Student Center for the transfer students to kind of see how they could get involved with AS. And an upcoming event would be for Transfer Student Alliance collaborating with CLAS for a final study event. So yeah, thank you guys.
Hi, I'm Maya. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Public and Mental Health Commission this year. Our total budget for the year was 46,600. So far this quarter, we've spent about 8,000. Our bigger events kind of center winter, spring, so there's that. This quarter so far, we did AS kickoff fair tabling where we were able to pass out a bunch of like health supplies, like some of our Plan B, like vitamin C, emergency, that kind of stuff. Midterms tabling, which we always do, and then our fall mental health first aid training, which is a collaboration with CAUSEWeb. Ongoing right now, we have our mental health conference subcommittee. The applications are open now through week 10, and that's our big event in the spring quarter. Our reproductive justice program, which has been an ongoing collaboration with Human Rights Board. The original money put into that was 24,000 between both boards and is down to about 1,000. So coming up soon in next quarter, we will be dedicating more money to that. Our Narcan boxes, which was a collaboration with us, President Metzger, and Gauchos for Recovery, are now up and running in the all the student campus-owned student housing. So that's been really awesome to see. And then the mental health first aid training is our other collaboration with CAUSEWeb. No. Okay. We had our fall training, then we're gonna have winter and spring as well. This quarter, I've been working a lot on updating our legal code with 2 new positions, the new student representative and the racial equity advocate. And then we redid our collaboration with Health and Wellness, which is the rejuvenation station, which is all the like massage therapists. We funded an additional massage therapist for the year, which increases the amount of people able to receive massages by, I think, 1/3. Upcoming this quarter, we'll have the finals essentials booth where we're also doing like a build your own safety keychain. And then next quarter, we're doing a find your hobby event, healthcare on campus booklet / map handout, and an art for health showcase.
And then our marketing director has done a huge refresh on some of our marketing materials, working on a new logo and redoing our website. Yeah, thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Isabel and I'm the Assistant Program Director at KCSB. We're the non-commercial FM college radio station that broadcasts 24/7 from right underneath Stork Tower. And yeah, I'm here as proxy for Avery Morgan, who's our general manager. And as I mentioned, we do 24/7 radio broadcasting. You can tune in at 91.9 on your FM dial or kcsb.org around the globe. And our programming is really special because we're non-commercial, independent, and educational, meaning that the type of stuff we're broadcasting is stuff that you can't really find anywhere else on the air. We have a really broad range of types of shows, ranging from music to public affairs to cultural arts. And we have about 100 DJs producing content for us. About 80% of them are students. We also have a bunch of student internships and volunteer opportunities that are available to all students, not just our programmers, including an assistant news director internship, opportunities to get trained in creating news and sports broadcasting, and a bunch of volunteer committees like music review, library review, archives, zine, engineering, publicity and tabling, and writing for our blog. So yeah, our station serves not just as independent broadcasting, but as an opportunity for all students to get trained in hands-on media skills. And we're lucky to have around 200 volunteers surrounding the station. And additionally, we have a quarterly broadcast training class that we call K-Juice that consists of about 25 to 30 students that get trained in the skills to become an FM DJ. Some of our specific recent projects are a series of journalism workshops where our news directors brought in guest speakers that talked about different journalism skills, a t-shirt design contest where artists have the chance to design a new KCSB t-shirts, consistent local music coverage on our blog, and live in-studio performances that are broadcast on air with local 805 bands. And yeah, our executive committee was also lucky to have been able to travel to Santa Cruz recently to attend the University of California Radio Network Conference, where we networked with college radio staff from across California. Our annual budget is $210,150. And our fiscal year starts July 1st because our student staff work over the summer. So yeah, we've spent about $87,500 on student staff payroll and $80,212 on operations, including encumbered expenses that we expect to pay out for the whole year, such as like our internet service that streams online and station upkeep, and syndicated shows, as well as some one-off travel, publicity materials, and training retreats for staff. And yeah, stay tuned we're hoping to put on some DIY shows throughout winter and spring quarter. So if you like band shows, stay tuned and follow our Instagram.
Hi, everyone. We are Lobby Corps. My name is, and my name is Lily McKee, and I'm the local affairs chair.
My name is Metzley, and I'm the state and federal chair. Lobby Corps is just dedicated to lobbying at the local, state, and federal level to make higher education more accessible and more equitable. We want to empower students to advocate for themselves and their peers. Our total budget for the year is $52,750, and the amount we spent this quarter is $430 for general body meetings. We have pizza and tabling materials, and $3,300 for honorarium.
Yeah, so some projects, events, and initiatives that we've been working on is, like Metzley mentioned, we have our bi-weekly meetings discussing UCSA, which is our UC Student Association that represents all 9 undergraduate UC campuses. We've also done how legislation works, bill writing workshops with Assemblymember Greg Hart's office, lobby training to prepare students for our lobbying trips that start occurring next quarter. We typically focus on Sacramento in the winter, and then in the spring we do our DC trips. And then we are also sharing information on how to get involved locally, whether it be voter registration events, our November Regents meeting, the Deltopia Town Hall, and the Students of Color Conference. We've also heavily been tabling to recruit people to come lobby, and we've added at least 100 names to our mailing list for Shoreline, and we average about 20 people per meeting. I think that's it. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, I'll try to make this quick. All right, so my name is Matthew. Oh, wait.
There we go. My name is Matthew. I am one of the co-chairs of the Zero Waste Committee. So our mission is to design, plan, and implement zero waste initiatives on campus throughout Isla Vista to help the community reduce their impact, kind of live that zero waste lifestyle. So our total budget for this year is $27,500. Our estimated amount spent this quarter is around $5,100, which includes honoraria. And then I just wanted to highlight a couple of the programs that we have ongoing or we've had in the past. Just want to note our shoe recycling and our sports waste recycling programs both are relatively new. I have some stats for the shoe recycling. So to date, we've recycled over 2,000 pairs of shoes, which is equivalent to diverting around 2.5 million gallons of water and 35,000 plus pounds of CO2. Thanks to everyone on campus who's been involved in supporting that program. So thank you. Some upcoming things we have going on regarding the recycling programs. I was contacted by the University of Vermont. I have a friend there and they want to expand the shoe recycling program. So UCSB is having nationwide impact, which is really cool. And then also UCSB Sustainability has officially agreed to sponsor both projects. So this includes using our diversion figures in UCSB's climate impact report. Again, really cool. And then couple other programs that we host. So we have quarterly Fix-It fairs. So if any of you guys have participated, you can get your clothing, bike, electronics, all repaired for free, and it's all done by student volunteers. So again, really just trying to involve the community. And then we also have our annual Zero Waste Festival, which will be held in the spring. Some other programs. So we have composting education that will be going out starting winter quarter. We've been working on that this quarter. And then also we're going to be working with Isla Vista Compost Collective to expand composting collection locations throughout Isla Vista. That's been a demand. We've also hosted Take Back the Tap workshops, thanks to one of my officers right here at Cami. We had a Halloween costume drive. And then we're also responsible for providing all compostware for any on-campus events. Then some upcoming things for the rest of the year. So we are going to be working with on-campus dining to initiate a pilot project for reusable ware. And then also, we were going to be trying to implement reusable Metro products and library vending machines, and then also working with environmental leadership incubator students. That's a special program run through the environmental science department. We're going to be working with them to expand the thin film plastics recycling program, which was implemented last year. So yeah, that's just a snapshot into what we're doing. There's a host of other things, but don't want to bore you guys. So thank you.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Josie. I'm the Student Unit Director of the Legal Resource Center. We're located upstairs in the Pardall Center, and we have 15 student interns and 2 contracted attorneys. The work that we do is dealing with anyone who is a student at UCSB and has issues with tenant-landlord problems, citations, infractions, misdemeanors, small claims court advising, and then also the Halloween and Deltopia legal advisory emails that you guys got sent. That was from me. Our total budget is large. We have a lock-in fee, and most of that money goes towards rent at the Pardall Center and the salaries of our attorneys, is my understanding. We usually meet with around 80 students per month. Last year, our busiest month was April, and this year, our busiest month has been October. Some new things that we're working on is we're working on really improving our advertising, marketing, and outreach. We want to start doing a lot more programming the way that Daniel talked about IVTU's programming. So going to Greek life organizations, going to the dorms, having more flyers out, really helping spread awareness about our resource to the rest of campus. I think a lot of people don't realize that the Legal Resource Center is there and how helpful it can be for so many students. So this is the year that we're working on really expanding our outreach. And then Project MELT is this conception that we have that we've started right now, which is MELT stands for Mending Expectations Between Landlords and Tenants. This quarter, we had a cool thing happen where a group of landlords from Isla Vista and their lawyer approached us, essentially looking to create some sort of student liaison relationship with us. Saying that they were unhappy with the relationship in general between landlords and their tenants, and they wanted to take the first step to improve that, and they wanted us to help them do that. So that's something that we're going to be working on this year. I threw up some collaboration interests. I've already reached out to a few of you, but
I feel like the Legal Resource Center really doesn't have a very big presence within AS or hasn't in the past, and I'd love to change that this year. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sam. I'm the chair of the Living History Project.
Hi, guys. I'm Harper. I'm the vice chair of the Living History Project.
So we're a project that has been on hiatus for the past couple years. So since we are just coming back this year, I'll take this time to explain a little bit about who we are and a little bit what were our goals for this year. So our group also consists of an external student coordinator, an internal student coordinator, a social media coordinator, and 2 researchers. Together, we work to research, archive, and share the stories of student activism and community organizing at UCSB, highlighting both visible campaigns and focusing on the everyday acts of resistance throughout our campus. By utilizing research, storytelling, and archiving, we hope to honor the labor of not only past activists, but inspire current and future generations to continue building a more inclusive campus.
So we've been working on some projects recently. We recently went to the Save Deltopia campaign where we interviewed a bunch of people and we took notes, and we're preparing a full-on like archival Instagram post to discuss it. So it was really fun to do that and speak with our community. We're also doing this new thing where we post on Instagram every week some updates about activism, like what's been going on at UCSB this week, because we're such an active and vocal community, which is amazing. So we just want to highlight that kind of stuff. We're also doing some archival research on student activism across many different communities, such as Asian American communities, Black community, and the broader Latinx and other multicultural movements. So we're also scanning and publishing our paper archives to make them accessible to the broader UCSB community, BCUs, and campus organizations. So we're doing a little bit of a rebrand. We're preparing a new mission statement. We're redesigning our logo, updating contact info, a Google Drive, and a shared calendar, and just kind of getting our grips and back into our mojo.
And then later down the line, after we successfully set in place these administrative foundations and secure our budget, we hope to participate in events like tabling at campus gatherings, collaborating with student groups, organizations, and our fellow BCUs to highlight their work, and the continuation of previously held Living History Project trivia nights at the library. All of these efforts are designed to help document history while actively engaging with our community in meaningful ways. So if you're interested in collaborating with us for anything historical or activist-based work or archiving your BCU's history, please contact us. We would love to add some more projects to our annual goals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, hi guys. So we're Raíces de mi Tierra. So I'm Tony. I'm the external chair.
I'm Lali. I'm the internal chair.
Yeah, so we just wanted to go over kind of what we've been doing, especially fall quarter, but starting in summer. So we've had like our mission statement, of course, is to promote outreach through our performance, as well as promote intercultural dialogue through dance as a revolutionary act, right? So especially with what's been going on with campus and, you know, political state with the Latina community, we've been doing a lot of advocacy work in regards to that. So real quick though, so officer meetings, we host officer meetings every week. We both facilitate these officer meetings. We have 16 board members. It's a full board and has always been every year. So again, we also do officer one-on-ones that we've just recently done to evaluate our officers' progress throughout the quarter, ensuring that they are doing the responsibilities that they have been assigned.
We have practices Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and we're averaging about 50 general members per practice. So this is students in the greater UCSB community, excluding our board. Also, we've done various events and performances this year. One of our first advocacy event was a nicho building event, and that's like mini altars for family and friends who have passed away. And we did this as a way to increase conversation about like different cultural practices surrounding Day of the Dead and like celebrating family.
We also participated in volunteer opportunities with Casa de la Raza and Desmadre Media in the greater UCSB community, as well as like in Santa Barbara. They're currently building care packages for families in need this holiday season, cards to accompany these packages. In addition to that, we've done multiple performances for Day of the Dead at the SRB, and as well as one for the HSI program. We did a Semillas outreach event at the UCSB Orchelia Children's Center. And we also did the Chancellor's Fair, the Research Fair, and Celebración de la Familia.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of high campus engagement. We've actually increased our campus engagement with the new booking form that we've released. So if, again, this is just for us, if you guys actually wanted us to perform for something, we, again, are completely free. You just need to go to our Instagram and we've actually just book us 2 weeks in advance and we'll be there. Yeah, other than that, we've kind of been working, we've had a couple of financial weirdness, but we eventually ended up with a budget of $23,400. Operating came from a journal entry, so it was actually moved from honoraria, so it's now $8,100. But we've actually already spent $4,696 just for practice facilities, as well as for our advocacy events, and because performances are expensive to actually get us there, since we don't have an on-campus storage, it's kind of been a little bit difficult playing around with that money. Yeah, other than that, we've had a lot of engagement, especially with our socials. We have larger social engagement. So we had our reggaeton night. If you guys went, we had 500 attendees, and all tickets were basically gone. It was a big event. It was our most successful of the quarter. So yeah, other than that, that's kind of our.
We also are currently planning for future quarters. Sabores de mi tierra, it translates to like taste of my land, but we want to create a cultural night market, and we want to work with other dance orgs. So I'm in the progress of creating a dance coalition listserv. Our first email should go out next week. So if any BCUs or any other like people know more groups, please reach out, and you can even come talk to me. I'm going to be sitting back there. But it's something really big that we want to aim for spring quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Hey everyone, I'm Lily.
And I'm Sophia, and we're with the Committees on Committees. And then basically our goal is to do hirings and promote for all open positions that your BCUs might have. So reach out to us if you need any positions filled. And then our total budget is $10,000. And then we've spent about $3,700 this quarter for the Big Chairs meeting that we had in October, and for food and supplies and some materials for the tabling events that we also do.
Yeah, and then without honoraria, the amount we spent was about 890. This quarter, we've done 90 applications coming through our website across 13 entities and conducted 34 interviews. We also had our quarterly chairs meeting where over 90% of chairs attended, which was great. And we're trying to build up our publicity on our Instagram, which currently has about 11K views over 30 days. We also tabled at 4 events and planning 2 more. We're updating the AS chairs list, so if you're a chair and you're not on the AS chairs list, please let us know. And also a big push to keep our COC website completely updated of all open positions in AS so students can see them all in one place. And we do that through our open positions spreadsheet. So thank you to all of you who have filled out our open position spreadsheet when you're hiring. And then if you haven't heard of it, we're gonna send it out again through the chairs list. Thank you.
Really quickly, they're about to clean up food, so this is a last call if anyone wants to grab more food.
Hi, my name is Clee Skater. I represent the Food Bank Advisory Committee. We support and promote the AS Food Bank, which provides free food, toiletries, and resource information to all UCSB students. As chair, I organize our meetings, attend Senate, and take an active role in outreach, like tabling and events, to raise awareness and help eliminate food insecurity on campus. The AS Food Bank provides free food, toiletries, and resource information to all UCSB students. The food bank has a budget of $975,000 and has invested roughly $160,000 in food and operations and reopened its newly renovated pantry on the second floor of the UCEN. We also expanded outreach through pop-up pantries, campus events, and collaborations to increase student access and visibility. The Food Bank Advisory Committee supports and promotes the food bank through meetings, outreach, and event coordination. We took a more active role during the summer and fall via organizing tabling, pop-up pantries, food drives, and collaborations. We engaged approximately 500 students collectively, and we also worked on rewriting our legal code during the summer, which is now being approved this fall quarter. Our total budget is $20,000, and we spent approximately $9,400 in honoraria and events to strengthen campus-wide awareness and support. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Urmi. I'm the co-chair of the Human Rights Board. Our mission is pretty broad, so we oversee various projects, but our total budget is $69,000, and we spent about $13 this quarter. Although the bulk of our events like Human Rights Week and Festival of Culture are in spring and winter quarter, so we expect to spend more. Our honoraria is not listed there, but it's about $12,000. And we oversee 2 subcommittees, Students for Reproductive Justice and Papers for Individuals in Prison, or SRJ and PIP for short. We have had some events this quarter and have some coming up, such as a funding AICRC Harvest Festival, movie screening in January for Sugarcane, finals essential tabling with CAUSEWeb, midterm stress relief event with CAPS, funding human rights related academic teams, and PIP Happy Game Days. Thank you.
No problem. Do you want the computer down here? I know.
I'm sorry, I'm Maya. I'm the chair of external affairs for Code Commission on Disability Equity. Our total budget is $47,600. And currently we've only spent $2,164. That was on honoraria and also like a small event that we had just for offices. Our main projects have been the Disability Cultural Center, which is in the UCEN. We're currently renovating a room, which is going to cost about our entire budget, but we're getting support from both the UCEN and DSP. The renovations include widening the door, getting an actuator, which is like those push buttons, and like just widening some spaces. We're also creating a report on campus accessibility with ADA compliance, as there's a lot of areas on campus that don't necessarily comply. And some of the projects my officers have been working on include getting together a guide to DSP resources that a lot of students aren't aware of what they qualify for, or necessarily how to go through the process. They haven't had support previously. My basic needs officer is making our study room access for disabled students through the library. And we are also currently revamping our website, which includes creating a new logo and making our website accessible physically enough that isn't. I'm also working on making a program to guarantee accessible housing for students with physical accessibility needs, because while that is technically a thing, it is not in effect. Yeah, that's it doing.
Thank you. Their GGC rep. Program board.
Hi, everyone. My name is Grace. I'm the commissioner for Program Board. We do live entertainment events for free or low cost, often in the Thunderdome or the UCEN, or you see us at Extravaganza. Our total budget for the entire year is 2,100,001,072.42. And the amount that we've spent this quarter is $800,002.13. Some of the events and projects that we've been working on this year include our special events, including Welcome Back in Stork Plaza, which had Smino and IDK, which was a 4,000 capacity event with 1,153 people who attended. We also had Delirium in the Thunderdome with YG and Freddie Gibbs. That was a 4,000 capacity event, and that was 3,068 people attended. We've also had hub shows, including Fake Mink and Wisp, which have 800 capacity, and both of those were sold out. For cultural events, we've also had Bretman Rock in Campbell Hall, which is an 860 capacity show, and that also sold out. We also had our Pumpkins and Petting Zoo at Lagoon Lawn. We showed a film of White Chicks at the beginning of the quarter, which was about a roughly 600 person attendance. We do Stork shows with Ivy bands every Wednesday at Stork Plaza from 12 to 1 p.m. We had B-side band, Birchwood, and Emergency Contact perform. We also have a Tuesday film every single Tuesday at 7 and 9. So if you guys want to come to the one tonight, we're showing Companion. But some of the ones that we've shown is Superbad, Practical Magic, The Craft, Scream, Nope, Get Out, Kill Bill. And those have been roughly 30 to 100 people attending each week. We also have a Spotify playlist where we add either board member or volunteers' favorite songs, and as well as we also have some themes. So if you want to follow us on our Spotify, it's Program Board UCSB. And we've also done some partnerships with other AS and IB entities such as and also RCOs such as Naked Voices, IVRPD Halloween, Ivy Drip, TASA, and IVCSD for their alternative Deltopia programming. That's it. Thank you.
Oh, wrong direction. There we go. Hi, I'm Josie. I'm the chair of the Judicial Council. The Judicial Council hears and resolves any cases under our jurisdiction, which covers the entirety of AS Legal Code. We are your judicial branch. It's just us. Our team is a chair, a vice chair, and 3 members at large. We mostly work on hearings, honorary appeals, and advisory opinions. Our total budget is $8,070, which just got increased because of honoraria. An honoraria increase because we work insane hours sometimes. New initiatives, which is mostly what I want to talk about today. Hold on, I even wrote some things down about it. Okay, so after the JC handled several high-profile cases last spring, it became clear that while our work is guided by procedure, those standards haven't been clearly summarized anywhere outside of legal code, and most students haven't had easy access to that information. To address this, the Judicial Council Benchbook has been created. This is a centralized, accessible guide to every part of a JC hearing. It includes clear summaries of each hearing stage, one-page overviews of procedural components, a standardized rule of evidence, and explanations on how to make and respond to objections. Our goal is to make sure that everyone in the association, no matter how much experience they had, could understand how hearings work and participate confidently. This is about strengthening our due process, improving our professionalism, and making sure no one walks into a hearing unprepared. The Judicial Council Benchbook is accessible on our website, and we also have physical copies in the JC office and the Office of the Attorney General. The sections on before coming to a hearing and hearing procedures are also posted on the AS Canvas page now, so that everyone has a really easy way to access them all. In terms of fall involvement, we've handled a couple honorary appeals. We've done some preliminary hearings. We've been present at every Senate meeting. We've collaborated with the Office of the Attorney General. We've collaborated with admin for Canvas contributions, and we're working on a really big website revamp just to make it so that everything JC is way more accessible. Thanks.
Hey guys, sorry, we have our general meeting happening right now, so I was over there, but I'm here to give the report for Global Gaucho Commission. I'm Molly Maskell. I'm here as the proxy for our chair, Suyan Wang. I serve as a project officer for the Global Gaucho Commission, which is AS's International Student Advocacy Branch. Suyan couldn't be here again because of the general meeting, but this quarter we focused on strengthening international student outreach, community building, and campus partnerships. After completing our officer recruitment and onboarding at the start of the year, we've moved directly into programming. And across the full quarter, we've launched 12 projects in total. We completed 7 and 5 are currently ongoing. Our expenditure total is $14,653. And we currently have a board of 9 members, and we're in our second recruitment cycle right now. So our international student outreach projects have been the orientation welcome package, the informational pamphlet, the campus scavenger hunt, the international orientation survey, the Chips Around the World event, the travel holder decoration social, the global community stickers and pins event, and we have also funded the CSSA Supernova event. And then our collaboration projects have been the Global Mentorship Program with Health and Wellness, which has been a quarter-long peer support program, which paired international and domestic students together. And we hosted a couple different events for this, like mixers and creative socials. And then we did a Finance Without Social Security Number workshop with the CFF, ASCFF, which was a workshop that taught international students how to navigate banking, budgeting, and financial systems without a social security number. And the International Education Week Study Jam with the Office of the President. That was a study jam with snacks, study space, and community support for international and domestic students, which again was co-hosted with the Office of the President. And then we did a policy research on undocumented student advocacy with OSA, Office of the Student Advocate, a collaboration on research, presenting that to international students for undocumented rights, safety net policies, and campus response protocols. And then finally, our international and cultural outreach, which has basically just been a master sheet where we traced past outreach with on-campus cultural and international organizations and building partnerships for future programs for GGC to host. Thanks, guys.
Okay, hey guys. I actually don't know what to say about report for Finance Committee because I think most of you are familiar with the work we do, especially if you pay attention during ACE1. We're doing our authorized slides. It's basically a majority of the job we do. In terms of internal budget, we have $30,450 for internal for the committee, but I don't think it's relevant in terms of like the big mission that we do as a committee. So I think the most relevant numbers we want to know is that this quarter we funded 123 events and spent $1,396.61. I'm really bad with reading numbers in English. And then the big thing we did, we are 95% done with revision of this year's finance policy and procedures. Only have a little minor confirmation we need to do primarily with reference to the legal code. And then we did a big thing with Matt changed the shared governance we had with the USSA. If you guys know, it used to be that it has to go through UPSA first and then come to us. And out of efficiency and just, don't want to kick the balls around for students to go around to apply for funding, we made it a shared governance that they can come to Finance Committee and or UPSA, either way would work. And two big thing upcoming for this year will be the implementation of MyPoi and the Finance Policy and Procedure Bot that is in a beta version for now. So MyPoi, I think most of you guys, as I said, if you pay attention during AS1 presentation, would know that MyPoi is basically the digitized, transparent system that we're implementing for requisitions. So people who submitted a requisition form for now, they can only email the staff member to check for the process and details. And by implementing that system, people can actually have live transparent access to have a knowledge of where the requisition has been into which part of the process, and they don't have to wait for the email correspondence anymore. And the finance policy and procedure bot is basically, you can like ask it as all other like chat bot, like ChatGPT or other bots. And you can ask, where do I submit my requisition? And it'll give you the details of everything, which is like largely, I believe, will increase efficiency for everyone. Adoption of MOUs. This is actually a good place, I think, to make a quick little, I would say appeal, like not notice, just appeal of like, for BCUs who have MOU with the finance board, it will be largely appreciated when our officers send you the email of the things that we approve under MOU, and you guys can have like a result email back as soon as you guys can. This is not like rushing you guys to do the request, but it will be for the benefit of the students, because as you guys all know that we don't do retroactive funding. So we don't want the process of MOU like force the students to do retroactive funding when it's like in between the like logistic procedure processes. It's just like it'll be really nice if you guys can email back as soon as you have the result from your meeting. And another thing we're focusing on this quarter is improvement of Flux. So I know I've been collecting feedbacks of people who are using Flux of like, there's minor inconveniences of like, for example, if I only want exception, I don't want to fill out the whole form for exception, We're hearing all those feedbacks and we're improving them as we go. And you guys might notice a few minor tweaks that we're doing. We're going to launch the big changes during the break, because we don't want people to have like change of like platform as they're filling out the requests they're having. So and last one is just internal reorganization regarding the officers' responsibilities and little rebranding of finance committee. So we have the CVOL now. If you guys hate the new logo, just don't tell me, because I actually really like it. It's kind of that's me pushing it basically. And I hope that will make people more willing to use our logo for their event. I think it's cuter than the bicep. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the apotheosis of the gaucho. Mapaches in the night, beneath Stork Tower I write. In the city of IV I believe, through the association we breathe. And there, through the dusk, I know I see the light. Thank you. But that was my limerick. My name is Noah Lucan. I'm the chair of the Outreach Committee, and we have some super cool stats to share. This quarter, believe it or not, we have made over 100,000 interactions with students. Over 21,000 of those were in-person interactions, with the rest being social media. Some highlights: we had a pumpkin patch event where we gave away 2,000 pumpkins in just over a couple hours. We're working on implementing AS Dial, which is a text messaging system that students can subscribe to get association updates. Additionally, we've distributed 3,000 flyers to student dorms and had over 1,000 responses to the Save Deltopia petition alongside the EVPLA. Some projects that senators in our committee are working on include a super kitchen, giving hot bowls of soup out to students on the weekends when other food services aren't available. The mobile food pantry, having the food bank, or sorry, not having the food bank, but having a food pantry for students to come and receive free food, just as the food bank does. Additionally, we just passed funding in the Senate last week for Generation Conscious, or in partnership with Generation Conscious, where we are going to put laundry detergent dispensers, sustainable laundry detergent dispensers in the dorms so that students have free access to laundry detergent. So those are some of the things Outreach has been working on. Please come and collaborate with us. We are having our meeting just after this in AS Main, and if you are there, we will make sure that you speak first. And yeah, thank you guys so much. If you want access to some more of my art, you can email me personally. My name is Noah Lucan. Thank you.
Oh, okay, take this. Okay, I don't think I can beat that limerick in particular, but I'll just try to do my best.
I'll try to just talk a little bit here, but hello everyone. If you guys don't already know me yet, it's also just a pleasure to be talking to everybody today. My name is Iman Wahidullah. If you haven't met me before from AS1 or just currently just meeting for me individually, I currently serve as one of your 76 AS off-campus senators, and I'm also one of the chairs of the liaison committee. Today I do apologize if my presentation is a bit extensive. I'll try to be keeping it a little bit brief, but due to the fact I feel like that our entity is very critical, I think, to everyone who's currently here today, I wanted to provide just kind of briefly walking you a little bit about thoroughly who we are, what we do, and why our committee is overall your main partner when it comes to AS, and just overall some of the reports and things we're working on over the past quarter or so. But before I begin, I definitely wanted to encourage everybody to take a quick photo from our slide. It does include, in particular, our contact information as well as our meeting times, which is every Friday from 12 to 2 p.m. in particular. So please feel free to reach out anytime to me or our vice chair in particular, and feel free to stop by anytime if we need any assistance. But overall, for the liaison committee, what we do is often I try to kind of coin it in particular that we're basically kind of like the heart and the bridge when it comes to associated students, because in many ways that's exactly what we are, you guys. And overall, we are the team whose entire purpose is to connect with all of you guys, the BCUs, staff advisors, senators, overall, just with one another to create a bridge with each other. And we are the committee that you should feel comfortable with coming to whenever you need any communication support, guidance, advocacy, or clarity for any processes in your internal organizations for any support you need. And as many of you guys know, if you have been in AS long enough, one of our biggest challenges has typically over the past systemically the years has been decentralization and people not knowing where information lives and just who to talk to, who to communicate with, and it just seems a little bit decluttered, but it's exactly what the purpose of Liaison Committee has been working to kind of just bridge one of you guys together and provide more interconnection this upcoming year. So far, when it comes to our total budgeting, it's been currently updated to be around estimated, I believe, 9,200. And so far, we have not released these in particular yet this fall quarter due to the fact that when it comes to our pilot programming in the winter and spring, we're going to be doing more implementation when it comes to that with events and more additional things. But yeah, so regarding some of our reports, when it comes to fall quarter, this fall, we definitely treated the entire quarter as overall like a pilot phase. Our overall opportunity to slow down, analyze our internal situation, and just the internal communication model of what we've been currently doing the past multiple years or so, and what were the faults in that, and our current situations, how we've been used to or previously communicating to BCUs, how we were reaching out to them, and seeing the faults and the pros and cons in those previous methods, and how we can use those to implement feedback to us to how to be better communicators over the winter and spring with you guys better, and just overall seeing the models that have been used in the previous sentence before about what methods have worked and what have not. And in comparison towards this fall, we've overall, because of that, identified a lot of the major barriers between Senate, BCUs, and staff, and everything from outdated models to unclear expectations and just a lot of mass email disorganization that we're planning to fix in the winter. And we've overall just been communicating with all of you guys here today with overall 40 active liaison tasks. And I've been trying to at least work on strengthening staff collaboration through like appreciation efforts, communicating with more alternative communication efforts beyond email, and just supporting when it comes to appointments, cleanups, assisting you guys individually with inactive or dissolved BCUs, and just assisting when it comes to all basic things such as legal code revisions in particular. And most importantly, we've been gathering, because of all these successful or failed pilot program models, overall feedback from all of you guys to determine about what is the best implementations that we can continue to do over the winter quarter to really facilitate better communication with all of you in the next winter and spring. Because of that, this quarter wasn't really about launching a million things. It's more of just really understanding the system and what really has been some of the fractures and the concrete things that have been causing disorganization between all of us and associated students, and how we can better bridge one another in the next upcoming years. But when it comes to that, a lot of the things that we learned in the winter quarter, we're planning to do a lot of more just because of knowing what our barriers are. We're working to make winters where we have phase 2 of our particular strategic planning and how our solutions can start beginning and how we can bring us more better together. This quarter, we're working to implement, as of right now, 3 new pilot programs designed directly from the fall feedback we've received so far. 3 particular ideas that we have is creating an internal AS newsletter, which is some idea we have because, as you guys know and have communicated to us, that emails in particular aren't the best way only to communicate with one another. So just having a really good, centralized, consistent space for meeting time, staff contacts, BCU updates, and just news about Senate and deadlines, so you guys actually know what's going on when it comes to our perspective in particular, as well as just kind of creating new liaison structures instead of having just like things to reorganize it better, so you have better liaisons communicating to you guys. And if those work out, hopefully we can have more better in-person communication and just meeting with you guys more in meetings, seeing you guys more and just more in-depth and qualitative discussions and communication beyond just surface level just emails and beyond that superficial things. But
and I'll talk a little bit more. So in short, our committee is here overall to support everyone here and just overall to give you guys better communication on your behalf, to uplift your work, to help you navigate through AS's confusing internal systems, and just overall build structures that last longer than just simply a quarter or a particular year. And we're overall your partners in making this association stronger, more connected, and more functional for the upcoming years to come. And just, yeah, overall, that's all. Thanks for taking you guys so much for your time. And again, please feel free to contact me. I did put my information above here as well as our meeting times. Feel free to come by for any additional questions you guys might have and for feedback as well. So again, our facilitations of programs are dependent on your guys' feedback and positive support. So yeah, excited to work with all of you guys this year. And yeah, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sohan Sundarajan. I'm one of the collegiate senators of Letters and Sciences and the vice chair of the Advocacy Committee. Unfortunately, Chair Shurkin cannot be here today. For everyone who doesn't know, the Advocacy Committee is the committee that deals with literally any student issue, whether that be food, shelter, hygiene, anything. Some updates in our committee. We have 2 new positions. The first one being the Diversity and Equity Coordinator. We believe that in a committee that represents every student on campus, a diversity aspect was required. And we also created staffers for the campus liaison. We thought that the campus liaison was a really big position, which takes on a lot of roles. So staffers are required to fully fulfill the role of a campus liaison. Some projects that we're working on right now are we're helping with the ILP bike path project. The Pardal Light Tunnel project, which is actually being spearheaded by me. I'm working on the HIP proposal for it right now. And for that, we would be replacing all the lights in the Pardal Tunnel. We think because it was a memorial for the students who passed away over 10 years ago, that it should be kept in the best state it can be. So yeah. We're also working on the Pardal Tunnel basic needs vending machine. We are simplifying the AS and basic needs childcare grants. We're helping the outreach committee with the soup kitchen. And then potentially later on, we're gonna have a clothing/toy drive. There were a lot of organizations here that were involved in basic needs and advocacy. So right there at the bottom, that's my email and Chair Shurkin's email. All right, thank you.
What's up, guys? How's it going? All right, good evening. It's so loud. Good evening. My name is Evan Sussman.
My name is Melanie Jones.
We serve as your first and second president pro tempore of the Associated Student Senate.
So a lot of you are probably either been intimidated by the Senate or don't know what the Senate really does at all.
Luckily, we can tell you what the Senate does tonight.
So this year we've been hard at work with the following projects on the screen behind us. Our main job as Senate leadership is not just to act as legislators, but to facilitate smooth communication and collaboration within the association. This event, for instance, Evan and I, through a bill, codified to bring you all here. So thank you again for your presence. We hope this isn't too bad of a way of spending your Tuesday evening.
The other option was in a flying room, so I think this is better with no food. Other bills that we are working on include a bill to modernize honoraria, which will be introduced tomorrow. And this bill will streamline honoraria, making it so you are paid much faster. And this process will be much less of a hassle. So in short, it automates honoraria, the process of it, and there are no more lengthy applications. And you won't wonder when your check is coming.
Another bill includes the bill to clean up legal code, which Senator Sussman has written to clarify our legal documents and make it more accessible and digestible for all students.
With Senators Pasher, Lucan, President Metzger, as well as Ivy P. Lala, we have been hard at work negotiating with the UCSB library to restore late night study. Here you can see the expenditures on screen of what our year's budget looks like as well.
With a joint effort, we are proud to say that we have partially restored late night study, and we're looking forward to 24/7 hours returning, hopefully in the near future.
As student leaders, we are not only legislating and reading bills all the time, although that's what we are doing, but we also take actions on campus. From tabling with students to working diligently with UCPD and the Vice Chancellor's office, we are making efforts to push towards campus safety, especially around the Lagoon area.
So before we step off the stage, we'd like to emphasize that the Senate is here for you. We're very proud of our fellow senators and the broader association for all of the dedication and work that has been put in to serve the student body. It's been quite a fruitful quarter.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about how we operate, or just want to talk or bring up anything that you see on campus, come to public forum in USEN Flying Room A at 6:30 p.m. every Wednesday, give or take a couple minutes depending on how fast people get to their seats. But thank you for your continued time and commitment and for being here for the first ever State of the Association. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Why is the order messed up? There it is. Hi, guys. My name is EJ Rad. I'm the External Vice President of Local Affairs, and I'll make this really quick because I'm sure we're all pretty tired by now. So some of the big projects we've worked on this year, the biggest one probably has been the Save Deltopia campaign. We had the Save Deltopia Town Hall last week, and it had over 400 participants and over 1,000 signatures on our petition. So it was a huge success. We saw a lot of social media engagement with over 300,000 views on related posts on TikTok and Instagram and over 20,000 likes. So safe to say students cared, which is a big deal, and it's definitely bought us a lot of leverage with the Board of Supervisors. We also run UCIV. There's a separate slide for it, so I'll save that for then. We are working on introducing a Rate My Landlord website. This has been something that a lot of groups in AS have talked about for forever. So we're really happy that it's almost ready. It's going to be presented to Senate tomorrow, I believe. And we can hopefully, if it gets passed, get it launched at the end of this quarter or the beginning of next quarter. So that'll be great. We have other things we've done, like the Halloween Know Your Rights and Town Hall that we did. We have a lot of projects in the environmental side of things, the Ivy Green project, which is a collaboration with ECP as well as the IVP's office to basically do like a apartment gardening series of workshops that they'll run. So that's super cool. We're also looking into vape disposal programs because fun fact, vapes are actually very bad to just throw away in regular trash cans because they are electronic waste and chemical waste. So we're working on a disposal drive for vapes. I also sit on the UCPD Chief and new Executive Director search committees. We also do STI screen-a-thons at the Pardall Center. So once a month, we have a mobile unit come in. Students can come and get drop-in STI screening. And we're working on introducing like vision testing as well. So you can get your eyes tested and maybe even dental. We're looking into that as well. So people can get like cleanings done. So we do a lot of those type of services. And we've also sponsored a bunch of events that I listed there. In terms of UCIV, they're a subsidiary of my office, which is run by Savita Casillas. They do amazing work. They're that tent on DPUC that give out Narcan, fentanyl testing strips, snacks, water, etc. And you can see these numbers are pretty crazy. They had almost 1,000 people on one singular night for Halloween weekend and 500 the following night. And they average around 300 to 550 people per night that they actually help. So they do amazing work. And they're one of the big parts of my office. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leia Cotta. I'm your External Vice President for Statewide Affairs this year. Essentially, what that means is I act as a representative of AS and UCSB to UCSA, our UC Student Association, and the US Student Association, as well to the UC President and Regents. A lot of what my office focuses on is legislative and organizational advocacy at UCSB and throughout the UC system generally through various campaigns and projects, which are often in relation to our UCSA campaigns. For those of you who are not as familiar with the UC Student Association, each year we will choose to vote on 5 campaigns to focus on. And this year, that is the Fund the UC campaign. For those of you who are not aware, the UC is facing a lot of federal and statewide budget cuts. And unfortunately, those are budget cuts we expect to impact a lot of our programs that most impact our like first generation marginalized students on campus. The next campaign would be our Racial Justice Now campaign, which, as you can gather from the name, is it rooted in implementing legislation and programs throughout our campuses that would be uplifting different marginalized groups. SEED is focused on environmental and native advocacy. Acquire focuses on basic needs, and UC We Vote is ensuring that our UC students are engaged in their regular civic duties and voting registration. This quarter, we haven't seen as much come because, at full transparency, a lot of what my office does comes in winter and spring quarter, and a lot of our budget is allocated towards that. So what you can expect to see from us are the UCSA sponsored lobby days and conferences. Sorry, my slides didn't update from the last updated. But this year we'll be hosting the Students of Color Conference, which is UCSA's largest and oldest conference. It's rooted in uplifting and providing resources for marginalized students on campus to better advocate for themselves or their communities. I'm very proud to be hosting this within our office this year, as it's the first time it'll be hosted on our campus in the 21st century, if not ever. But we can also expect to see from us our town halls, teach-ins, and informational events that are centered towards our marginalized and impacted communities under this federal administration. We were expected to have a NAGPRA teach-in this week, but unfortunately there were some groups and complications with the room that you should be expecting to see that within this next quarter. We were able to meet with our UC President's office this quarter, in which the biggest and most positive update I can give from that is hopefully we'll be seeing SB 98 implemented within our UC system soon. SB 98 is a bill that would require all higher educational systems to advise or inform and advise their communities, students, and family members whenever any sort of immigration services are present on our campus. We were lucky enough to have UCSA staff come to Lobby Corps this past quarter to give lobbying training to our students and our Lobby Corps. Our total budget is around 100K. Estimated amount spent this quarter is 11,000. But as I mentioned, we will expect to spend a lot more in these next coming quarters as we bring students to our state capitol and federal capitol for lobbying and advocacy days. The various lobby days you can expect to see from us are our Latina Student Advocacy Day, our Black Student Advocacy Day, our Transfer Student Advocacy Day, one that is generally focused on UCSB, and then just a general lobbying conference at UC Davis that follows with a visit to our state capitol and a visit to our DC capitol, federal capitol, later around April. And then, sorry, this is another thing that just wasn't updated in the slides. Another thing that my office does is kind of supervise the USSA funds. So that would be regarding any travel that is for your guys' organizations. It is rooted in our mission statements that are typically surrounded around advocacy, but anything that uplifts the UCSB community can typically be funded through those USSA funds. Again, not really shown in these slides right now, but if you have any further questions, please let me know.
One thing I did want to bring a bit of attention to is that our office will be attending the Regents meeting at UCLA tomorrow morning. We do have some people who have just dropped out with some available spots in the vans. So if you would like to attend that UC Regents meeting tomorrow at UCLA, please feel free to reach out to me or come to me at the end of this meeting. We will, full transparency, be leaving around 5-6 a.m., but it's a great opportunity to advocate for yourself and your communities, especially surrounding cohort tuition, which I'd be happy to share a bit more information on later. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. It's been a great night so far. You guys should all be very proud of the work that you've done. If you don't know me already, my name is Sydney Bivens, and I'm the Student Advocate General for this year. My office serves as your campus public defender. So we mediate, we serve as a mediator between students of the university on a peer support level and on a policy work and project level. Our primary function is casework, which entails guiding students through formal university processes. And our branches include academic, financial, housing, conduct, and grievance. So it's quite a lot of processes that includes like grade appeals, like financial aid issues, DSP accommodations, things along those lines we help students through. Our caseworkers have been trained by a lot of different university offices as we've established very strong connections with their directors, with the administration. So that includes Office of Student Conduct, Office of the International Students and Scholars, Office of Registrar, Financial Aid and Scholarships, Housing, Title IX, Ombuds, and then our own crew here at AS Legal Resource Center. We also, within our casework division, we're introducing caseworker liaison positions where we are further strengthening our connections with these various university offices. So that includes the ones I mentioned earlier, but also DSP, CLES, the Student Behavioral Intervention Team, Academic Advising, and Basic Needs. So my caseworkers are currently creating comprehensive resource and process guide to help make it easier to get through casework, as well as help you guys if you have any questions about it. They're sort of going to be the experts of these different offices. It'll also influence future external advocacy projects. So before I get into those external advocacy projects, I want to talk about my main 3 goals of this year, which is educating the student body on their rights and resources. So that looks like tabling, casework, our online outreach, a lot of different things. Demanding further transparency from the university. So those key offices like Office of Student Conduct, like DSP, OISS, making sure that students know what's going on. And our liaison positions are a big part of that. And then establishing stronger safety nets for vulnerable populations. I'll get into this in a bit, but undocumented students are a big focus this quarter. So for our fall quarter external advocacy focuses, undocumented student protections. So I've spent quite a bit of effort on educating the association on Policy 34 and what that looks like, what is required of us as student leaders. So during AS1, for those of you who were there, you heard from me about that. And I've been presenting in smaller groups of people as well about that. Recently, the president, UPSA, and we all collaborated with 805 and DocuFund, and we held a Protect Your Peers event. That was actually yesterday. We had over 100 people come. It was really great. You may have seen the reel promoting that. But we plan to have another one next quarter, but instead of just one event, we hope to have an entire Protect Your Peers week. So the responsibility isn't just on undocumented students or international students or anybody else who feels vulnerable to the attacks from the current administration. It's everybody. We're all responsible for each other. And so that's a big focus of the Protect Your Peers initiative. And then another thing, you may have noticed the giant QR code on my slide. That is related to my AS Direct to Student Resources initiative. So in addition to kind of organizing a big list of university resources, I'm also trying to make sure that anything that students can directly access within the association is available to them. So that would include my casework resources, that would include the food bank, the book bank, CMU. Like there's a lot of different resources that I would like students to know exist. So if you think that your entity has a resource like this, please fill out this form so that way my caseworkers can use it during casework, and we can use it for larger marketing initiatives just across the association. This is not just limited to my office. It'll help us all. And then the last thing I wanted to cover is the Go Gaucho app and website. My technology subcommittee is the entity that runs this app and website. If you don't have it already, I'll give you a quick rundown. It includes your class schedule, pastime reminders, 15 minutes before and 24 hours before, super helpful. A campus map with like building layouts for those that are publicly available, dining hall menus, cameras, a GE filtering system for optimizing your class schedule. That's very helpful for freshmen. And key campus resources. So if you have any questions about that, about the Go Gaucho app and what we're working on this quarter, please reach out to me or my tech lead. And then our online outreach generally outside of the Go Gaucho app is our Reddit, which we're very active on this year, and our Instagram. So if you have any questions about what I just talked about casework, or you feel like you need support individually, because again, my casework, it's not just, this peer support is not just for, your average Joe, it's for everybody here, who feels like they might need help navigating the bureaucracy of UCSB. There's a lot of formal processes that are overwhelming that I would not want you guys to have to navigate alone. So if that sounds like something you need, please reach out, and please, if you have not already, scan that QR code. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. It's me again. Okay, so it's been a quarter full of projects for our office in which we focused on the main campaign platform points, which are housing, campus infrastructure, access to funding, and a high volume of quality student-facing projects. These are the main initiatives we've been pursuing. We were instrumental in bringing back partial late-night study hours and will remain so in the progress of negotiating a full 24/7 reinstatement. Just recently, we hosted the first UC-wide IVP Council, which has already begun to get an exchange of important ideas going on all UC campuses, while building a strong model of collaboration at a time when UC officials have long been inaccessible to students and their needs. We've begun meaningful ILP bike path timeline and funding conversations with the administration, including having representatives from various departments present at virtually every Senate meeting. Something that I don't remember having happened when I was a senator, and I'm particularly proud of this Senate for accomplishing. We've made significant progress, myself, Chief Compliance Officer Rosales, and my Chief of Staff, Grant Schweiger, on bringing the Michael Ma Project, which seeks to introduce Bloomberg terminals to campus, which would provide an unmatched opportunity to build experience for all students interested in investing. This is an advanced piece of software that will allow both advanced commodity data and all the information you need to build a strong base to apply for jobs later on. We ran a demo with Bloomberg just earlier today and plan to introduce this major investment in this academic year. We're launching the Ivy Green project, rather, in collaboration with the Office of the External Vice President for Local Affairs and the Edible Campus Program, which will bring a comprehensive series of planting workshops for students over winter quarter. And this tackles two issues at once. That of food insecurity locally, which has always been present on any college campus naturally, and has been exacerbated by cuts recently, of course. And secondly, it will provide students a lifelong skill that they can use. My Deputy Chief of Staff, Casey Carnell, and the President's Deputy Chief of Staff, Samantha Garcia, have restructured the Pearman Fellowship this year to be much more successful after legislative help from some of our best senators. So hopefully your entity has been matched with a Pearman Fellow, and that will accelerate and further enable you to accomplish your goals this year. We're launching the Ivy Underground project, which will host a major set of band shows at the Thunderdome beginning in winter, bringing a new type of entertainment to campus and supporting our bands with the practice equipment and spaces they need. So that second part will be taken over by our collaborators in the President's office, and the Senate Outreach Committee will be a crucial part of this initiative as well. We're leading a campaign to secure the AS Student Fee Advisory Commission, or rather our representative on that commission's voting rights, as is the case on all other UC campuses we've viewed so far, which would be a recognition and a sign of respect of the crucial role that the association plays on campus, be it financially, culturally, or otherwise. My Deputy Chief of Staff, Casey, and I are pursuing, I'm really excited about this one, an initiative to bring campus housing transparency on the main housing projects going on and around campus. So those are the San Benito and Ocean Road projects, which are at different stages of development, and the East Campus Housing Project, which will come very soon, just right over here, and we'll tear down the Santa Rosa Residence Hall and the Ortega Dining Commons and build up from there. Casey will be sitting on the building mitigation group, it's called, to represent AS and undergraduates on the impacts that the construction will have on the rest of campus and the community. And we will join the UCSB Housing, Dining, and Auxiliary Services leadership on the next walkthrough of the San Benito project construction site. I feel like I've been waiting for that for my entire undergraduate experience. We're legislatively turning the internal compliance officer role into the academic affairs director to take up this key part of our office's mission statement. We're beginning with the initiative of introducing minors in the College of Engineering, as is offered at other UC campuses, and it will expand our efforts from there to the College of Letters and Sciences and beyond. Last but certainly not least, one sort of meta project that we hope catches on and becomes adopted at the legislative level is the project track, which sort of works as this meeting, but digitally and accessible throughout the year. It allows the entire association and student body to see all of what a student government and its various entities are working on, ensuring both efficiency and transparency. As we've previously said, it is only as useful a tool as we make it, so I hope we all continue to build on it and get some use out of it. Can't wait to continue advancing all these efforts. Thank you all for listening.
Hi, guys. My name is Leanne. I am the Associated Students President. I have an office about 20 staffers and together we act as the official representative of the student body to campus administration, UC administration, local and state governments. And we're also here as a resource to you in the student body to help you accomplish the goals and the changes you want to see on campus. So my office has been really busy this quarter with our events and projects. Just to highlight a few, we did the AS1 Leadership Retreat, which had about 150 people, and 150 other people did the makeup attendance. So yay! We also had the AS Kickoff there, which reached over 400 people. I've been doing the Coffee with the President series, where I've given out 72 donuts a week, well, every other week that I do it. But I probably talked to over 100 students, and that's been really awesome. And making more students aware that they have a student government, they have a student body president, and all the resources available. My office has also been working on the Ivy Farmers Market series with Ivy CSP and Thrifftopia, and we're working on making it a long-term Isla Vista event. We've collaborated with Ondas, the UCSB Labor Center, the MCC. We also did Halloween cookie decorating, which brought over 30 students to AS Main to kind of show them where our space is. We did Prop 50 info session. I hosted the AS Quarterly. My commissioner on environmental sustainability, Matt, has been working on the e-coalition meetings with the EAB. I tabled at the Parents and Family Weekend. As Sydney mentioned, we had the Protect Your Peers event last night, which was super successful with over 100 students, staff, faculty, and community members. And as Sydney mentioned, keep an eye out for more events in January so that we can create a community-led movement to protect our school. We also did the Environmental Education Week study again with DGC. We've got self-care goodie bag tabling. We had LinkedIn speed dating last night. We've got a transfer game night tomorrow. And then week 10, we're going to be doing dinner distributions at Pardall Center, over about 150 free dinners every night. So keep an eye out for that. And then I'll also be doing a late night snack delivery at the library during week 10 with yours, Red Bulls, and snacks just going around with the cart. So that's super exciting. And some projects that I've been working on, as you all know, the AS Canvas page, the AS newsletter, which has gone out to all students. The Student of the Quarter Award, we got over 12 nominations, and the winner will be selected by my team sometime this week, will be announced. And that winner will receive an additional $300 in honoraria. The State Association. Also, again, this is the first time it's happening, so if you have any feedback, please feel free to let us know. I've been working really hard on improving AS spaces like AS Main, making it more of like a welcoming space, and also working on storage. So many groups don't have storage or don't have enough storage. So please come talk to me if you are one of those groups, because I'm making a really big effort to try to fix that issue. As Henry said, we've got the Pearman Fellowship Program, clarifying the requirements so that it's just a better program overall. I've also been helping facilitate conversations with the late night study situation, raise the bar partnership that Take Back the Night mentioned. I also worked to allocate $15,000 to UCSB Basic Needs for their grocery voucher program, given the EBT freezes, and also worked to allocate $10,000 for free burritos for EBT holders at Super Hookah. So if you didn't see that, you guys can go to Super Hookah, show your UCSB ID, your EBT card, and get a free burrito, one per week. And as of like 4 p.m. today, 538 burritos had already been eaten. So super exciting. Another big project this quarter, as some of you know, we currently have, as some of you know, our executive director, Marcella, retired last June, and we have an interim executive director, Sean. And so I'm leading the search committee to hire a permanent executive director. So the job description has been finalized, which will be approved this week, and the application will open in early December. We'll begin reviewing applications in January. So later this year, we'll have a full-time permanent executive director. My office has also been working on Mental Health Mondays and has been doing partnership with Red Bull. And a big part of my role is meetings. So I thought I'd tell you about them. I have my weekly staff meetings and weekly core staff meetings. I have monthly cabinet meetings, which is people like the Attorney General, the Strategic Operations Office, the Controller's Office, etc. We do bi-weekly exec meetings. So the 5 of us last people who just spoke, we meet every other week to give updates and work on collaborations. I also meet bi-weekly with the UC Council of Presidents. So all the presidents and grad presidents at all the UCs, we meet together and work on coordinated efforts. I also attend bi-weekly AS career staff meetings, space committee meetings. I have weekly meetings with Sean. I meet with students. I have had press interviews with the Nexus and the Bottom Line, and I've had many other meetings including some with Chancellor Asanas, the alumni board, the board of trustees, the faculty legislature, which is basically like student government, but for faculty, undocumented student services, basic needs, the academic senate, grad student association, and student affairs leadership. So that is my fall quarter report, and I'd just like to close off. We are 25 minutes ahead of schedule. That's record breaking, guys. All right, so thank you all so much for coming out tonight to give your quarter report. I really appreciate your openness to change, and I hope that we can continue to make improvements to the association and how we function so that we can better serve our students. I learned so much tonight, and I hope you did as well. It makes me really proud and excited to see all the amazing things we've accomplished as an association in just the first quarter. And I'm confident that we'll continue to expand our reach and our impact on students this year. And with that, I can full-heartedly say that the state of the association is excellent. Have a nice night. If you guys can please clean up your trash and then collect all of the coloring books and markers onto one table, you'll make me a very happy lady.